Let me introduce Karen Fox to you. Karen Fox has been called dynamite in a small package. She brings her expertise from decades of award-winning success in sales, marketing, and leadership to her roles as speaker, trainer, and coach. As founder of Karen the Connector and the Extraordinary Success System. She specializes in helping passionate leaders avoid the great resignation, retaining their top talent while building better teams through communication, creativity, and connections. Her secret sauce is finding humor in daily situations and creating an atmosphere of fun, which encourages teams to be more engaged and productive. She is the perfect liaison between the company, the leader, and the amazing teams they have hired. Karen considers shopping a hobby, and she will follow you anywhere if you have Reese's peanut butter cups. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ms. Karen Fox.
Hello, darling. Oh, I was told to work with you and look at you. I was told I should tell you how fabulous I am. Have you met me before? Have you checked me out on LinkedIn? Oh, I'm sure you have. So you know I have been in beauty pageants since I was 14. And I have won Miss America several different positions. So you know all that. And let me tell you more. There is so much to know about me. Do you know I started in my career in movies, when I was quite young. You know what? I've spent so much of your time. Let me get on and share how wonderful I am with someone else. Okay, now the movie star can go away and we can start to talk about the real things we're here for. I need 5 volunteers. I didn't say victims, I did say volunteers. Okay, Darlene, Laurie, Richard, Kim, Lisa. Okay, come on up. Okay, I need you to stay in this area because we need everyone to see you. Okay, sorry, putting you right in the light. Okay, now what they're going to do is they have to uncover what this says very quickly. Can everybody see, or are we messing up something here? We're good? Okay. Okay, Richard, get your little team together here, decide what this says. Come on, all of you. This is teamwork, teamwork. Let's see how fast they are. Okay.
Are we backwards? Yeah.
Ta-da! Okay, did you get their photo? Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Well, I do have a prize for all of you doing so well. Reese's peanut butter cups. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. And you may be seated. Thank you. And this is for Thad. Okay, you may be seated. Well, we're going to talk about 5 steps to attract and captivate your audience on LinkedIn. Would you say with Miss Hollywood, we started in the right direction or the wrong direction?
Wrong.
Do you realize online is the same as offline? We just filled in the story, and that's what we're going to talk about today is your story on LinkedIn. And what I want you to do is grab a piece of paper and spell out story, just like you see it on the list here, S-T-O-R-Y down, and I'm going to let you fill in next to it what we talk about, the important parts of LinkedIn. We ready? Okay. The first one is our S. We're going to talk about what do you think S stands for? When you're thinking about LinkedIn, there are several portions that are highly important and valuable to you. And actually, the S that we're going to talk about is number 4. We've talked about the others, and we'll re-emphasize that shortly. But it's your summary. LinkedIn's profile summary has 2,600 characters. So you've got 2,600 character limit. Use it. Use it to your advantage. Now, only the first 300 will be seen when somebody comes to your profile until they click the see more. So take advantage of that real estate space. Now, here's 6 questions to show your personality and value in your summary. The first one is, what are your goals and ambitions? The summary is not your resume. The summary is your life. It's your story. But it's not telling you you've been in beauty pageants since you were 14. Number 2, what are your guiding principles? What leads you? What guides you? Number 3, why are you passionate about your current job or industry? People, this is where people start to connect with you. They start to find out a little bit more about you and know if they want to go any further. Were there any specific pieces of wisdom that you took away from your past jobs? Or I would say just profound things you've learned through life. Is there any unique knowledge you've brought into your industry from other life experiences? And in what ways do you add to the culture of your workplace? This tells someone very deeply how you feel and what's brilliant and what's inside you, what connects you to people. Now, your summary should only include facts about your career. Is this a fiction or a fact? It is definitely a fiction. It's not about your career. That's in all of your experience. This is where they connect with you and they learn the additional things. Next is the T. Now, in the T, you probably think it's to do with the title, the headline. And that is one of your top 3 things you must take care of in LinkedIn, is your title. Now, we have talked about this in a previous marketing spotlight, so you can go back and check those out. I'm not going to get into it a lot on this because we've got more to cover. But in this one, you've got to see where I've got the little box around it. When someone comes to your profile or pulls it up without getting deep into it, that's all they see is that first line that I have the box around. It's got to be powerful. It can't say that you're owner. Who cares? No offense, but no, who cares? Why do I want to connect with you? What's in it for me? You got to realize your story may be about you, but it's to influence and engage the other person. So what's in it for them to connect with you? Now you'll see all these wonderful profile images here. You might even recognize a few. With that being said, we talked about that previously of what it takes for a good profile picture, but that is also one of the top 3 things that must be completed for a good profile. But what we're going to talk about on the T is testimonials. What are people saying about you? Have they said anything? How many testimonials do you have? Do you know it takes 3 to be a completed profile on LinkedIn? And may I say, if your testimonials are from 10 years ago, we have a problem. I will go back to say that about the image, your profile image. If I cannot go to Starbucks and recognize you, that image is too old. Just saying. And the thing is, when you ask for a testimonial, Give them suggestions of what you're looking for. Because when someone says, would you give me a recommendation or a testimonial? I say, sure. And then you start thinking, okay, what do they want me to cover? Should I say this? Should I say that? We're going to get into it a little deeper, but give them suggestions of what you're looking for. Then they'll put your keywords into your LinkedIn that helps when people are searching for you. And remember, be a giver. Give first. Most of the time when you give that recommendation or that testimonial, many times they will reciprocate and give you one as well. Don't give it with that intention in mind, but that does happen most of the time. Now, we want on this recommendation testimonial, start with a knockout line, such as, it's rare that you come across outstanding talent like Anne Prenette, Anne, are ridiculously efficient is the phrase that comes to mind when I think about Brian. I do mean that after working with him. And then describe your relationship with them. I had the pleasure of working with Richard for 2 years at ABC Company, collaborating on several project teams. See how we're getting personal on it? And then I hired Tiffany as a freelance designer in 2020 after her online portfolio, and she's completed 6 flawless projects for me since then. Do you see how you're taking it and going deeper? It's not just, oh, they did a great job, loved working with them. Yeah, yeah. That's what it sounds like to the person reading that. Share a trait that makes them stand out. Such as, I was particularly impressed by Dan's ability to handle even the toughest clients effortlessly. That skill often takes years to develop among customer service professionals, but it seems to come perfectly naturally to him. I would agree. Share a trait that makes them stand out. You've got to be sure you're getting deep. I was always in awe of Tom's ability to command a room and get people on board with ideas, even people who were initially completely on different pages. That's a skill, isn't it? Okay. And then you need to add a touch of personality. That also makes sure our Zoom meetings are never boring. Talk about entertaining a team. And no matter how tense a meeting, Darlene always makes sure everyone leaves with a smile. Now, end with the solid recommendation. Mark would be an asset to any team. As a team member or leader, Laurie earns my highest recommendation. Anyone would be lucky to have Will take them on as a client. Do you see how that finalized all of it? Would you want to work with them? Would this affect if you chose to work with someone? I definitely think so. If I went to your profile and you had 2 testimonials, and I was trying to decide between you and someone else who had 52, where are you heading? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. You need at least 3 recommendations to have a completed profile on LinkedIn. Fiction or fact? Fact. Absolutely. Next is the O. Let's talk about the O. What does the O stand for? The O stands for the organization. It's how you're going to organize it. You need to organize your post, and you have to determine what you're going to do. This is just a quick snippet here, but when you're planning out your editorial calendar and what you're going to do and accomplish on LinkedIn, put it into categories that you want to come across with. Now, the best time to post for greatest engagement, HubSpot says Wednesday from 10 to 12. Sprout Social says Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 10 and 12. Thursday, 9 a.m., 1 to 2, and Friday at 9. Now, Buffer says Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and 5 to 6 p.m. Now, I will tell you what I've always told my clients is think about when they're online. Usually it's when they first get to work and when they're leaving. So if you'll keep that in mind, that makes a big difference in when you can get the greatest engagement from them. Organize your post strategy suggestions. It could be advice and a commentary that exemplifies your expertise. It could be humanity posts that provide insight into your passions. Again, it goes along with that summary. Ideas and tips that connect with your target audience. And again, if you're not hitting your target audience, you know, if I'm a dog groomer and I'm talking to everyone who has cats, that is not my target audience. So you have to make sure you're talking to the right audience. Special events that benefit your audience, let them know about it. You're the good guy. You just shared something with them. And highlights of lessons learned that are also informative to your audience. Case studies, again, testimonials. That's a third party seeing how wonderful you are. It's not you, like the one that started with, look at me, aren't I wonderful? Okay, the most important post to plan is your promotional post on LinkedIn. Is that a fact or a fiction? It is a fiction because that's not what you're on there for. It's not for promotional. It's to get to build that relationship, which is our next one. And R strictly means relationships. I said it already, but relationships online are no different than offline. And relationships are a two-way street. It's not like I started, it was all about me, all about how wonderful I am. And I had no time for that. So keep in mind the relationships. I took someone that I'm following very closely, and this is a tip for you that I want to get to know better. I took one of their quotes, put it on my image, so my audience recognized me, but it says, your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card. How you make others feel after conducting business with you is your trademark, by Will Harris. So because I took his words, I also tagged him in it. He saw it. So I'm starting to build a relationship. You know, I'm not attacking him. I'm building a relationship with him. Okay. Now, remember, on LinkedIn, it's no different than anything else. Don't try to marry me before we have a date. Don't you feel like that when people go, I want to connect with you because you're absolutely so wonderful. And yes, thank you. And the next LinkedIn information you get from them is how I should work with them and how wonderful they are and what is absolutely perfect in their eyes. They tried to marry me. We haven't had a date. We haven't got to know them at all. LinkedIn is the best social site for networking and building relationships. Fiction or fact? Fact. Absolutely. Truly a fact. Last one is the why. The why is you. You and only you must determine what you want to get out of LinkedIn. You're investing time. And some of you may have premium, so you may be investing money as well. So think about what you want out of that investment. Could be brand awareness. Could be lead generation. Could be networking, research, information. And it could be just your resume. That may be all you're using it for. But again, what do you want out of it? What are you investing for? Now, you must post at least monthly or no one will see your post. Is that a fiction or a fact? What do we think? It's fiction. Has nothing to do with how often you post. But the more often you post, the more people get to see it. Well, that is the conclusion of what we have today. Do we have any questions? Anybody have a question? We've got a mic. Lisa does.
I have a question. I have a question, Karen. Who is that beautiful woman in the marriage slide?
Oh, that was my beautiful daughter. Thank you.
And the gentleman?
That was my son-in-law. Oh. Yes.
Karen, do these suggestions translate to other social media things like Instagram or Facebook?
They do. Each one of them has their own little segment that's a little different. But I think, Lisa, everything revolves around building a relationship, nurturing that, continuing on that. People start to know, like, and trust you. That's when they'll do business with you. Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
I didn't quite keep up with your fabulous slideshow. Would it be possible? Will you be able to email it to us, or?
It will be available.
Okay.
And we'll also have the video later for everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Is there a certain strategy you have to have on LinkedIn to be successful?
Is there a certain well, there's a strategy, yes, but the strategy depends on, again, what you want to get out of it. Why are you investing your time? And it's the end result you want to look at and work backwards, and then you determine the strategy to use. But yes. Okay.
Is there any particular industries that are better for LinkedIn as opposed to maybe Facebook or?
Well, always B2B is always better, but I've had great success working with clients on B2C businesses. So I think, again, it all comes down to, what do you want to invest in it? Who's your target market? And what are you going to do to get to that target market? How are you going to build your process to get to them? Okay. Thank you all very much.